What do you do when a relationship changes or ends? And why is it so hard? I'm Barbara Zinda with Better Together Life Coaching. I just hosted a live event yesterday about shifting relationships and how to navigate them with grace. This is something that doesn't come naturally to everybody. And I wanted to talk about one key point today. That point is that a relationship that changes or ends creates grief and bereavement. Now, when you're experiencing grief and bereavement, it's easy for people to put an expiration date on it and say, it's been 6 months. Aren't you over it yet? Everyone's journey is different. And I want to make sure to address the fact that when you're experiencing a big change in a relationship, you're going to go through stages of grief. And one that isn't talked about enough, in my opinion, is the yearning. So the loss happens, the shift happens, the change happens, and you yearn for what is lost. You yearn for the routines, you yearn for the energy, just the experience of having the relationship. You yearn for it. If that's happening in your day, in your life, I want to share one actionable tip today that you can do to get out of the what I call downward spiral of thinking and move into a healthier space. What is a downward spiral of thinking? When you're experiencing this grief, this bereavement, this loss, this change, you're experiencing disappointment. Disappointment is easy for us to feel many times throughout any given day. It could happen in traffic, it could happen when someone doesn't text you back fast enough, or it's a big disappointment when a relationship ends or someone moves away. It's jarring. It takes up a lot of space mentally and emotionally. When you're disappointed, it could lead to the downward spiral. The next step is depression. And depression is an inward focused anger. Depression is where you get into that kind of pity party mentality, like poor me and this is awful and so bad, and you're just mad, you're just angry, and it's self-centered, and you become kind of, I call it the hardened heart. You're not in a good place. You're not bringing your best version into any relationship because you're depressed. Depression can lead to isolation, and that's a very dangerous place to be. So the shift that you can do when you feel disappointed, because you will, don't let that root of bitterness grow though. Instead, when you feel disappointed, acknowledge it. And as you start to feel yourself going into the pity party mode, stop it and bring an attitude of gratitude to the moment. When you're feeling disappointed, you're regretting something that has already happened. It's in the past. It's back there. Leave it back there. Bring yourself into the present by experiencing gratitude. You can't have disappointment and gratitude in the same space. Your brain doesn't have room for it, both of those emotions. So bring yourself into the current moment and be grateful for something right now. What are you grateful for right now in this moment? And it could be as simple as, I have breath in my lungs. What are you grateful for? There's so much to be grateful for. This might seem like a simple tip, but it's harder than you may think. Try it today. As you're dealing with changes in your life, being able to shift your thinking is going to change your life. It changes your attitude, it changes your belief, it changes your behavior, and what you focus on is going to expand. So adjust your mindset, don't go down the negative spiral of thinking, and give yourself a chance to go through the changes. Like, bereavement and sadness is part of it. Just don't stay there. There's so much joy out there. Let's connect. I'm Barbara Zinda. You can find me at bettertogetherlifecoaching.fun. Drop something into comments about your experience. What are you experiencing, and how do you keep yourself from going to a negative state of mind? What are your mindset shift techniques? I would love to hear from you. And again, you can find me bettertogetherlifecoaching.fun. Remember, we're so much better together. Have a wonderful day, everyone.